Yo, what is up, guys? And we are back for another video on Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. And in this video today, I hate just continually talking about this issue on Global. I really wish they'd fix it. But the question of the day, it's actually based off of a tweet I made. And I had a bit of time to think about kind of what's been going on over the last few days. So if you really sit down and think about it, so this sort of Itemgate thing, this is actually it's pushing a week old at this point. And if you really think about it, we had it was basically a full days long maintenance where we couldn't even play the game. And then it came out of maintenance and went right back into maintenance. So clearly whatever the problem was, they did not fix it. They just straight up did not address the problem. And now here we are, right? I believe it is 6 days later. But the question that I'm posing in this video today, and obviously I want you to let me know in the comments down below, is does Global deserve 300 stones? Are we finally going to get that just dessert that JP once got? And actually this post, you can't see the exact date, but the post that just is titled 300 stones is from November 15th, 2017. So pushing 4 years old at this point, right? Almost 4 years old. The infamous 300 stones incident that occurred on JP was on the Kefla banner, the Fizz Kefla banner. And essentially what happened is, so since this has a full translation, I'm going to just give you kind of a Spark Notes version. And shout out to Cola-san Z. So I don't know if he's actually still active on Reddit or not, but he kind of gave the full sort of description here after translation. So their findings: with the introduction of version 3.8.0, there was an error that would display wrong information in the pullable character list of the gacha. There was a bug in version 3.8.0 where the part that manages the memory didn't function correctly. Therefore, different players got to see different results in the pullable character screen, depending on when you open the list. Because of this bug, memory got overwritten when the app tried to communicate with the server when pressing the Scouter button. They have confirmed that the actual characters that could be pulled and the rates were correct even though the bug occurred. They want to reassure everyone once again that rates are not being adjusted for different players, action that they have taken. All players will get 300 Dragon Stones as compensation. Again, November 15th to November 29th, assuming you log in during those dates, right? And all players that have pulled during that time that the bug occurred will get their used stones on banners refunded. Bug occurred November 14th, November 15th. A full detailed explanation on the bug will still be coming in a separate post. Now, I do believe in that post, they actually displayed some of their code. And this has been confirmed by data miners that it looked like a legitimate mistake, right? Like, essentially, let's finish, right? But a full detailed explanation of the bug will still be coming. There will be a version update coming that will solve these problems. The Extreme Z Battle event will be postponed until this new version is available. Woo! Okay, so that was a mouthful, but I'm glad I got it out there, and I want you guys to all know where this came from, right? So in a nutshell, what happened is there were players, when you would open the Scouter screen, a bunch of different images would pull up. Or if you pulled the pullable characters list that you can pull in any single banner, there were units that weren't even listed. Like, I remember I heard an example of, like, there were people that were claiming that, like, Fizz Vegito wasn't even in the pullable characters list. So it really looked like every single player's rates and characters were being manipulated, and it was just indeed a bug. Now, why JP players got 300 Dragon Stones? If you actually scroll a little further, people actually did some math. And if you were buying full retail stones, you know, it equated out to about, you know, kind of tough to tell, right? I mean, this was during a time of, like, you know, when stone vendors were really popular and stuff. But again, full retail from the shop, roughly, just with the stone compensation, I mean, you're looking at, I don't know, 125, 150 bucks, maybe a little north of that. And then with all of the Dragon Stones refunded, I mean, that's, you know, that obviously varies quite a bit. So they gave out basically, at least bare minimum $150 to each player, if you think of it that way, of in-game, currency that you could either use on that banner that they probably redropped or a different banner in the future. So the question still remains, does Global deserve 300 Dragonstones? If we look at everything that has occurred on Global, so again, we know at this point, so dear players, an issue were found, blah, 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 you can't use support items, right? So a lot of the events, basically like half of the events in the game are closed, right? Or, a fair amount of them are closed, including some of the best ones. Like Super Battle Road's probably my favorite event in the game. Extreme Super Battle Road, Fighting Legend Goku, Infinite Dragon Ball History, ESBR, the Punching Bag. I mean, you guys see, right? There are a bunch of shit that's gone. Now, wait, so that was on 3-9, and at the time of recording, it is 3:14. So if we continue on regarding the long maintenance, remember, this was during 3-9 is when we got this, right? But guys, the full day before, we weren't able to play the goddamn game because it was in maintenance. And it came out of maintenance and then went back into maintenance. So again, whatever problems they had, they really didn't address. They just said, well, fuck it, we're going to open it like this and we'll sort of deal with the consequences later. So, I mean, honestly, this compensation is a joke. It's laughable to what we should be getting. Now, yeah, and then this is Itemgate, right? Like, you can't use any items, right? So it's a big-time problem we all know at this point. But the question remains, do we deserve 300 Dragonstones? I think the answer is no. But is this a 30 to 50 Dragonstone type issue? No, I think it's more than that. I mean, again, we're carrying on to a week where more than half the game is not playable, man. This is ridiculous. And again, the best events in the game are not playable. So like, if I wanted to showcase Int Gogeta, I now have to go to a 2-year-old Dokkan event, right? Like, that's so stupid. No one wants to run Dokkan events. No one wants to watch people run Dokkan events, right? Like, they want to see, how do these characters perform in Extreme Super Battle Road? And even if you're not a content creator, you want to see how these new units perform, because maybe you haven't beat all the stages of Extreme Super Battle Road yet. Maybe you're still working on the OG Super Battle Road and you want to see how these characters perform. So the whole point is I think that as the days and days, as days push into weeks, I think that this is more than just a 30 to 50 Dragonstone type issue. I think that this is a 150 Dragonstone issue. This is my opinion. That's kind of my final verdict on this. And if we push all the way until my prediction, which was St. Paddy's Day, by St. Paddy's Day, they will at the very least have a temporary solution to this. But if we push all the way into St. Patrick's Day, dude, I think we're pushing like the maybe 200 stone dragon mark, or excuse me, 200 Dragonstone mark. So I don't think it's worth 300. And the reason why I don't think it's exactly worth 300, because there could have been some serious consequences. If you maliciously adjust the rates, which by the way happened to Global, I do want to just throw that out there. When STR Gogeta originally came out, Bandai intentionally manipulated the rates. But that was when gacha games were extremely new. So that was back in 2016 when STR Gogeta came out, right? The original banner where STR Gogeta was on. He was, essentially the banner was rigged, right? No one really talks about it anymore. That is the #1 ultimate global shaft, is when STR Gogeta's rates were maliciously manipulated to get you to spend more Dragonstones, i.e. spend more money, right? So again, no one talks about that, but that was a real thing that happened on Global Dokkan. Ask Nolar about it. Oh, low battery. What else is new? Yeah, ask the homie Nolar about it, right? So, what I wanted to do in this video, I feel like we're closing in on 300 Dragonstone territory. Think of how long the game has not even been playable. I mean, you can grind Lynx, you can grind Zenny. That's all you can do in the game, right? You know, you can grind some Dokkan events, sure, if you want to get ready for the 6th year anniversary in July. Sure, you can grind some Dokkan events, but other than that, man, we're just waiting and waiting and waiting. And I will say that maybe they're waiting for the weekend to be over. Remember that originally this was going to be a World Tournament weekend, so I think a lot of the time, I honestly think kind of my own little conspiracy theory is they do World Tournaments to like take some time off, right? Because they just figure that everyone is so immersed in the World Tournament that they don't really need to be at their desks. That's kind of my opinion, right? So anyway, I think that they're probably not in the office because this was originally going to be a World Tournament weekend, but I don't really know if that's true or not. That's just kind of like my own little conspiracy theory. But guys, in the comments below, let me know what kind of compensation you're thinking. I'm thinking minimum, I'm talking bare minimum to make me not pissed off is like 150 Dragon Stones. If you come at me with like 20 Dragon Stones, dude, that ain't cutting it. I'm sorry, that's not good enough. It's been too long. And again, we're pushing a week. I believe tomorrow is a full week since we've been able to play the game. So I kind of just wanted to get my opinion out there in the atmosphere. I think that it is important as content creators, man, even though I'm on my small platform here, man, we need to keep addressing this issue because it's not going away and it needs to go away. So if somehow some Bandai spy comes across my very modest channel, again, it needs to be addressed, and I'm challenging all of my fellow content creators out there. If you watch this video, you guys need to address this as well, because this is not acceptable. If this were happening on the JP side of things, I will guarantee you this, there'd be much more of an uproar, and Bandai would have fixed the shit. I would put a flex guarantee on that. There's no way they'd let this carry on for 6, 7, 8, 10 days. Like, there's no way they'd let that happen. So anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap it up here. I'm going to just keep beating a dead horse, right? Slap a like for incoming global compensation and let me know what you think we deserve. And I will catch all of you in the next one. Later.